viewers, welcome back to Maxwell Starr's beer review. Tonight we're going to take a look at Erdinger's Hefeweizen, their Erdinger Weissbier from private brewery, product of Germany. Private brewery? I imagine that just means that it's a private brewery. Mit feiner Hef, probably the finest Hef or something. Okay, it's a Hefeweizen from Erding, hence the term Erdinger. Ooh. Best before the end of 6/2012, and usually that means it's a year. So this is probably brewed bottled in June. This is the world's most popular wheat beer. Erdinger Weissbier is a traditional Bavarian wheat beer brewed in strict accordance with the Bavarian purity law of 1516. Sort of. Erdinger Weissbier is bottle fermented like champagne, resulting in a unique, refreshing taste. Its glistening golden straw color and majestic frothy head are unmistakable. Yeah, I've said this before. The Bavarian purity law specified in 1516, actually I think it first came out in like 1487, Reinheitsgebot, first specified that 3 ingredients needed to be used in beer only, specifically 3 ingredients. They were water, hops, and barley, and of course yeast, because you need that for making beer in the first place. But wheat wasn't actually included on that list. However, wheat beers were popular before Reinheitsgebot, and continue to be popular amongst well-to-doers, aristocrats, and royalty during that time. They maintained their popularity up until the point in like the 1800s. When I think they relaxed the rules a little and allowed wheat beers to be brewed again. Currently, the current version of the Bavarian purity law does say that you can use wheat as an ingredient, which this one does. Anyway, this is one of the more popular ones, Erdinger. Let's crack this one open and take a look. Yeah. The only closest glass I've got, my Alexander Keith's India Pale Ale pint glass, to holding this 500 milliliter bottle of German Hefeweizen. So, oh, come on, stop. Something about this is not going too well, so it's a lot of head. There we go. Let's try this. That's better. Shake up a little, get that little bit of yeast in the bottom. And there we go. Maybe not, could it, oh, well, lots of head coming out of that bottle now. It's all foam left in that thing. And it's making a nice foamy head, almost even with the top of the glass. That's nice. Oh, there we go. Look, more coming out. Well, it certainly looks nice. And of course, just like any other Hefeweizen, it's nice and cloudy. You can see little bits of particulate floating around in there, but not as much as some other Hefeweizens. It's kind of like a straw golden color with a slight orangish hue. So a little more richer golden, and a poofy white head. That it's almost pure white, maybe a little off-white. Anyway, so smell-wise, very faint hints of banana, clove, a little bit of citrus, like orange citrus, and a very faint musty smell, but the smells in this one are not very pronounced at all. Does smell nice though. Let's give it a taste. There's a very mild amount of hoppy bitterness in the very back. Holy crap. Look at the head that's coming out of this one now. That bottle never stops. It'd be nice if you could find a bottle of beer that actually, you know, suddenly refilled itself. That would be sweet. It just keeps pumping out more. Anyway, yeah, it's got a very mild hoppy bitterness in the very back, which is kind of like almost a medicinal quality to it, which indicates that they use some kind of noble hop. There's some mild notes of citrus and a little bit of a grainy taste. Perhaps a very mild citrus banana taste. But it's very mild, like incredibly mild. And it's perhaps maybe a little bit lighter than like Erdinger Hefeweizen, but it's like heavier than Erdinger, but it's not bad. Just not very deep and complex in flavor. It does finish nice and dry, and it is still light. And it does leave a little bit of lingering bitterness, but it's not a very bitter beer. It's more of a lightly bitter beer. If I were to rate its IBUs, I'm not a professional at this, I'd say that they're at least under 20, perhaps even under 10. But it does have a little bit of a bitterness that does linger for a bit, which is nice. Anyway, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit, and I'll be back with some thoughts. Be right back. And we're back with Erdinger Weissbier. So what did I think of it? It's okay. It's got some nice tastes of maybe slightly citrus, but it's mainly like a predominantly flavorless beer. It's not quite as light as some of the other Hefeweizens out there. Like, for example, Erdinger Hefeweizen it's nice and fluffy. This one here, I mean, while it's a good beer and a nice light beer, it's maybe not quite as light and fluffy as a good Hefeweizen should be. As well as the flavors in general aren't quite as present. There are some nice flavors in that beer, like hints of clove, a slight fruitiness. But mainly the most predominant thing that comes out of this one is a slightly alcoholic, boozy sweetness in the back, and that a beer that's 5.3% ABV, I don't think you should be tasting that at all. It just doesn't seem to mask its alcohol content. That's not to say that as soon as you take a swig of this one, your mouth's going to be on fire because of alcohol burn in the back of the throat. There's none of that. There's just a little subtle taste of it, along with that herbal hop bitterness in the back, of a little bit of alcoholic sweetness, and it's not incredibly bad. I think I'm still going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5, just because it's got some nice flavors and it's easy to drink. But when you compare it to other Hefeweizens out there, like König Ludwig or Hackerschor or Erdinger, no, it's not the best one out there. It may be one of the most popular out there, if not the most popular. But maybe that's just because it comes in a 500 milliliter bottle and the rest don't. Honestly, there's better Hefeweizens, and it's a very, very good style. That said, I can't absolutely hate on this one or chastise this one for being a bad beer, because it's not. It's actually pretty nice. But there are much better Hefeweizens out there than Erdinger. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review. I hope you enjoyed watching the review, and there's more beer in the fridge, so keep watching. More to come. Talk to you later. Bye.